Alright, I'm back. Had to have some breakfast, of course. Like I was saying, she had never really talked, and they are the most sexual, most freakiest, most perverted type of women on the planet. I would say bisexual women are number two, and then women who are extremely shy and introverted, number two, and then of course you can say your traditional freak who just loves to show their ass and tits, at number three. What I'm trying to say is them reading books, them taking a lot of pictures, and them going to the library is used as a cover up. Now, what happens when you get a girl that is actually introverted and don't want to talk? Now, what they don't tell you is that you have to play characters from books, not necessarily television and film, but books to capture their imagination. And you see, the problem is these baby boomers from way back then tell you, go after the nerdy girl, go after the nerdy girl. And problem with that is, and I hate to say this, they're the absolute best type of women to go after. At the same time, they are by far the worst women to go after. Because when it's all said and done, what you're getting back in return is a headache. Meaning, look how much work you have to put in. Look how much effort is required. You see, when you get a house or an apartment, you get a car and you get two jobs and you make a lot of money, you go after this type of woman, and what you find out is, and I've said this before in part one and part two of Undercover Freaks, I said it in Little Black Book part one and part two, or should I say Sex Book part one and part two. I said it in those videos that women in junior high, high school, and college, when they go way too many years not getting no attention from a man, and a man finally takes interest, a man finally pays attention, these women also can do a shit test. These women also can play mind games. And it could take a painful long time for them to realize you're not a gay member, you're not the men that you see in the movies and television shows, and you're the right man. It could be 2 years later, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hell, it could be 10 years later before she comes to the realization that she's got the right guy. Now, women who go out and date basketball players, football players, baseball players, guys that are in the movies, television, and film, guys that are screenwriters, actors, directors, producers, or if she's trying to date an R&B singer or a rapper. Those women know the difference between the right man and the wrong man. Those women, they run away from the good guy, the guy that's the right person. When you get a woman that's introverted, the reason why it takes a lot longer is because they could have bipolar disease. They could have a split personality disorder, and they have to take lots and lots of medication. And I said it in part one and part two of my video of sex with a bisexual woman. I told you there must be something in the air, there must be something in the food, that something about wanting to mess with the wrong kind of woman makes you gravitate towards them. In this case, in the story, the girl didn't want to talk to me for 3 years in junior high. High school, all she wanted to do was draw pictures of me. I don't know what her obsession of me was, but she would actually make a fully fledged comic story of me. I grow my afro out. She draws a picture of me having an afro and starts laughing and giggling, and I'm like, what the hell is so damn funny? If I cut my hair off, she draws a picture of me with my hair off. If I have my hair like this, she'll draw it like this. If she saw me going to the gym trying to deadlift almost 400 pounds, I'm pretty sure that she's so good at drawing at this point that she probably would just draw me out like I'm Captain America or the Hulk or Thor, lifting thousands of pounds and shit. And it wasn't until I got to Los Angeles City College that I saw her again that she was 245 pounds. Big sagged breasts, a fat gut, big ass butt, sloppy fat. and she still would do laughing and giggling, and at that point I was probably 23, 24, going on 25 years old at that point. And I'm looking at her like she looking at me, and I'm looking at her like, you still can't actually open your mouth and say hi. Like, and you see at this point, she's probably hit the wall because you wasted so many years being quiet, not talking, and not saying anything. And society has it where it's okay for a woman to be quiet. You know how they say in romantic comedy films that a woman is quiet is the most sexual, most freakiest, most nasty, most perverted woman you've ever ran across? And guess what? That is 99.999% accurately true. These women will do things that you just don't imagine. Just like the bisexual woman, they'll do things that'll blow your mind. They'll have you handcuffed to the bed, you'll be blindfolded, gagged, and they will jump on top of you and ride you like this is a wild, wild west cowboy movie, western movie. They will intentionally, on purpose, dress up as Poison Ivy or Catwoman, or even go as far as to dress up as Harley Quinn, and you'll be thinking Halloween's in October, and she'll dress up and resemble the characters from that, and you'll be surprised of what women think about when they see you. And then you'll be scratching your head saying, damn, the shyest girl is the freakiest. And when she's around her girlfriends, they try to talk her into going to the nightclubs and the bars. And this is when peer pressure kicks in. This is when you find out that the girl you like, the girl that you find physically, sexually attractive, all of a sudden, she takes the reading glasses off. She bleaches her hair red or blue or green or purple or pink. And she stops wearing the reading glasses. She colors her hair. She starts wearing tight, sexual, provocative stuff. She gets maybe 2 or 3 tattoos. And next thing you know, she transforms into a completely different person. And you then have a hard time making the distinction between, is she a woman of class or is she a freak? And she's both. In the daytime, she a woman of class. And at nighttime, she a freak. If you go to a lot of these strip clubs, I'm gonna say it, you go to a lot of these strip clubs, I guarantee you about the vast majority of those women you ran across when you was in junior high, high school, and in college. And chances are you never knew that they were the freak. You always knew them that they were just this nice, typical girl that you went to church with or saw on the weekends, and you never thought nothing of it. And here are these old men that are from the 1950s, the 60s, and the 70s telling you, go after the nerdy girl. And then you listen to these morons, and then you find out the shocking truth. They're just as hypergamous as the women that are known to be freaks. That doesn't make your situation better. That makes your situation worse. Because now you're in a system where if you don't resemble what's in television and film or from a book, now what hell of a chance do you stand? Now, I'm not saying don't ever give these women a chance. What I'm saying is be very aware that when you see these women, that they're called undercover freaks. In fact, you'll get a girl that'll go to a sex shop and buy handcuffs. That's why I said they'll handcuff you to the bed. Your hands and your legs will be handcuffed to the bed. You'll be blindfolded. You'll be gagged. You'll be spanked. They'll take candle wax and burn the candle and put the candle wax on your chest and try to rip your hairs out your chest. They do all types of stuff you just wouldn't believe. And then this is how they become the bisexual woman. This is how they become, a female dominatrix. Or they break into porn and they become a porn actress. This is how it always happens. See what I'm trying to explain to you? It's not always the woman that's a freak that you should be terrified of. It's the shy girl, because the shy girl can give you some good head action. Like, she can give you some good head action. In fact, You come home one night and she dressed in some slutty outfit, and you think somebody broke in the house and pull a sick joke on you. And the whole entire time it's the same girl you were trying to talk to in church. You know that old saying that she's a freak on the dance floor, but when you go to church, she's singing hallelujah. Well, you meet a girl at the library and she's into computer science, but when you take your ass to the strip club, she transforms into the freak, and you're trying to figure out why friends got their cell phones out and taking pictures of her on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, but it's the same girl you have the hots for. But you're never going to know that until you find this out. And by the time you find out, everyone's laughing at you and you become what they call a laughing stock, a joke, so to speak, because you couldn't see the signs, what you were dealing with. And you see what makes this hard for men is that the baby boomers keep telling you go after the shy girl, the nerdy girl, and when you find out that she's a freak and she's introverted, see, when she's introverted, she won't talk, right? And there are real stories where girls actually like guys, where they actually have a guy's phone number. They might call 4 times, and then 6 months go by, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 months go by. 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 6 years go by. That the girl never calls you, never text messages you, never emails you, but for whatever reason she likes you. She goes around and tells everyone about you. But every time you try to ask her out to lunch and dinner, you experience, well, all men experience, not just sexual frustration, but frustration. You say, let's go out to lunch, and you don't hear from the girl in 5 weeks. You say, let's go out to dinner, you don't hear her for 10 weeks. 2, 3 months go by before you see her resurface. And then you'll say, well, why every time I ask you out to lunch and dinner, you disappear on me? Now, you might necessarily don't get rejected. She just runs away and hides. And then you go on Facebook or you go on Twitter or Instagram and you see her at the nightclub with 5 other girls dancing with professional basketball players or football players, and you get pissed off because you are an introvert man trying to pursue a woman that's introverted, but the lie is she can be like that and no one's going to call out the behavior. You do it, you get called out on. Like, trust me, when a man's trying to be quiet, they'll say he's a creep and he's a weirdo. But when a woman is being real quiet, the argument is, oh, she's reserved, she's quiet, she's staying to herself, and if a girl starts laughing for no apparent reason, if a woman starts talking to herself for no apparent reason, it's acceptable. But when a man does it, it's highly questionable. So there's a lot of hypocrisy. If a man starts talking about fantasizing about wanting to have sex with female animated characters, then people will look at him as a sick and perverted individual. But you get a girl that has reading glasses, that read books and goes to the library, she fantasizes of having sex with vampires, werewolves, angels, demons, aliens, and you'll be scratching your head saying that's not fair. It's a double standard. And I'm not making this up. That's why they make all these television shows and women fantasize of, I want to get taken out by Batman or Nightwing or Red Robin, or I want to get taken out by the Flash or the Arrow or Superman or Thor or the Hulk or Spider-Man or Iron Man or Captain America or the Black Panther or whatever superhero they obsessed with. Or it could be Dragon Ball Z. I'm obsessed with Goku. I'm obsessed with Vegeta. I've met some girls that you would not think they like Dragon Ball Z, and then you'd be like, it's a black girl and she like Vegeta? Like what? Like how the hell this happen? Or there'd be some girls that love them some Gohan, and you'd be like, Gohan's not even a real person. They're like, well, Gohan's hot. He's cute. He's better than you. And you'd be like, what the fuck? Same thing, I've heard some girls say they love them some future Trunks. And they'd be like, what's the matter? Are you jealous? So what I'm trying to explain to you, millennial men from the ages of 18 to 29, don't always listen to what a baby boomer has to say. Because when they say it, it's misleading information. They lie to you to your face and tell you a bunch of nonsense that's not true. And when you find out the shocking truth, and when you confront them about it, they'll try to justify it by saying, well, that's life. That's what happens. And that's the answer you're going to get a lot of times. And then you want to fight the baby boomers, and then you get in trouble because you're not supposed to put your hands on your elders or senior citizens. What I'm saying is, don't listen to everything they say, because every time they open their mouth and say something, it's misleading information. You live in the era of Instagram. You live in the era of Facebook, Twitter, Snapchat. So you can't always listen to what someone says. If you go to high school, or should I say, if you go to college, it starts in college. You get a girl that has reading glasses. She reads books. She's in the computer science. She goes to the library. She's introverted. She don't really go to the nightclubs or the bars. But every time you try to ask her out to lunch and dinner, she disappears for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, 6 weeks, 7 weeks, 8 weeks, 9. Before you know it, it's 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, all up to 10 months. You've been trying to get this girl. And once 5 or 10 years go by and she gets in her late 20s, early 30s, just on the verge of hitting the wall, that's when she all of a sudden now has this level of interest in you. Now, in some cases, that changes. Either because she hangs out with girls that are very sociable and they get her comfortable in learning how to open up and tell the guy that she has a crush that she likes him, or it's a case where she wants to play a bunch of mind games, and usually it's a combination of the two. So I don't want to make this video too long or too short, so you got a part 1 and a part 2, and I guess I'll entitle the video Sex Talk 101 E26, The Shy Girl is the Freak. I guess I'll entitle it that. So I made the videos and I hope you like them. Until then, peace.